If you are looking to set up a homeschool routine that is flexible and doesn't have you locked into a schedule, this is the video for you. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shanna, and if you are new here, we're a homeschooling family of 4. We are entering our 9th year of homeschooling for the 2025-2026 homeschool year, and we will have both an 8th grader and a 4th grader. And today's video is all about setting up our flexible but structured flow for 4th grade. Let's go. Before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. I am watching right behind where I have you set up, and the sky outside has turned incredibly dark, super black, and it is thundering like crazy. So if you hear some of that thunder, that is what is coming for you. So let's start off with what in the hootenanny is this? One, I have printables available for you. I will try to link them down below in the description box. Free printables, this little rainbow weekly flow printout. Now you may be like, okay, Shanna, what's a flow? What are we talking about? For us, what I like to do, the approach that I like to take is instead of being time-based, so math from 10 to 10:30, language arts from 10:30 to 12. Instead of being time-based, a schedule, I like to do a flow. So for me, in our homeschool, the flow allows us to be structured because I will make it in order of the most important subjects first. So the priorities and the things that can go by the wayside can fall down a little further on the flow and be put off if needed. But it allows for the structure of getting it done, laying it out in a simple, understandable method for my kids to do, but the flexibility of just first, next, then last. And it is very, very approachable. It is super easy. It is relatively stress-free, and my kids just rinse and repeat. So I will take this piece of printed cardstock and I will stick it on the back of a clear plastic clipboard, and they can use it to dry erase off until they get the hang of their flow for the new homeschool year. So this is not only what we'll be using for 4th grade, but it is also me making my flow so that we can start prepping our stuff to be ready to go for the upcoming homeschool year. Now, this is July. July is way heavy planning content, and that is because usually April, May is ordering, June is just fun summer stuff and unboxings, July is planning because I like to start in August, so that if you saw my recent planning the whole homeschool year video, you will know I like to take my breaks and I like to build in buffers, so that just automatically means we are getting started in August. So in an effort to be ready to go, this is 4th grade. Sometime after this, you'll see 8th grade. You'll see me starting a transcript and trying to avoid some pitfalls there. Planning our whole homeschool year has already happened, as well as actually getting on it to do record keeping for the upcoming year instead of retroactively taking care of that. Thank you. Proud of me as well. And yeah. Oh, and Mom and Me Monday. So you'll see my Mom and Me Monday featured here on our flows. And that was when I figured out what our group subjects were going to be, what that was going to look like, yada, 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 yada. So again, I go through the same routine every single year. Why do I do that? Because I have found that this keeps me on track, keeps me accountable, is structured enough to give us stability and consistency, loose enough to be flexible and fun, and easily implemented for my children on their own once I have set up the systems in place. We are all trained to follow the systems. And so because of that, that is wonderful. And that is why I keep rinsing and repeating every single year, because I have found this system that does make it easy for everyone involved. So let's pop over. I'm going to show you the screen recording of planning our weekly flow for our incoming 4th grader for the 2025-2026 homeschool year. Let's go.
All right, guys, here is my super cute rainbow free to download printable PDF. I'm just editing it in Canva this year. Usually I use Photoshop, but this just felt easier. And as you can see, I am running through, we've already plugged in our stuff, our group subjects for Mom and Me Monday. And so that's what I've got going on Monday. And yes, we will be doing geography together. via a crash course with Teachers Pay Teachers worksheets. And then she will also, my fourth grader, have her individual geography workbook, which is the Skill Sharpeners Geography. I gave her the choice to not do both, but she really loves those Evan Moore workbooks. So she actually has 2 Evan Moore workbooks that she will be working through this year. One is Skill Sharpeners Geography. It does end at 6th grade, so she only has a couple more years left of it anyway, but they really just enjoy the 1-page-a-day format. It really does talk about all kinds of entertaining things. I have videos here dedicated on this channel to reviews of specifically just these workbooks. And then she will be working through their latest edition of animals. She did complete the last workbook level that she did in, I think it was like 2 weeks. She did all of the subjects, everything, all of the projects, and absolutely loved it. So that is another thing that she will be working through. Now, as you can see, I am just copy and pasting right on over from every other day. It really is that simple. We're going to start every day with a current event. I'm hoping like a CNN 10, something like that. And then we will just be flowing into what is next. Now, you will see that we do have language arts, specifically the Michael Clay Thompson specific language arts, only about 3 days a week. And that will be how we are working together. But she will have vocabulary on Mondays as well. So there will be some sort of language arts every single day. However, with the approach that we take for Michael Clay Thompson, it is a little less, I guess, daily heavy. If you want more on that, I will have dedicated videos on these levels coming up. Because she is my second one to go through the Michael Clay Thompson program, I do already have videos up of the level that we'll be working through on my channel. If you just want to look back a couple of years, it is there and available. Now that I have worked through so many levels of Michael Clay Thompson, I do feel relatively confident in the approach that we do take. So I can say with pretty good confidence that it works for us and that is how we use it. And I would highly recommend it. I did, totally have to use my pivot or quit it rule. So we originally started with my first daughter and it was just not right. It just wasn't for us in the recommended way of using. And so we figured out how to pivot and now it serves us very well. Now, as you can see, I'm just filling it in. It's really that simple. Copy, paste, figuring out what's happening, figuring out what we need to do every day, trying to make sure that I am keeping it aligned for in order of importance for things that need to happen, or just a little bit of a framework as far as the order. However, my kids, especially once they get settled, they will work through however they see fit. And I am completely fine with that. Most of the things on this page, they don't actually need me for. Michael Clay Thompson, the reading of the chapter, she'll need me for. Math, if she has any questions. Geography, she can do on her own. The thinking is usually some sort of workbook, critical thinking puzzle. This year she's doing Myrtle Jr. So she will be working through just one of those logic puzzles a day. The animals workbook, I saw it to review it and never saw it again. She's fully independent on that. So not a lot of it requires myself or my input or my assistants to get started. And so because of that, they are more than welcome to start it or go in any manner that they see fit, any direction, any order. It is not a big deal to me, but I like to start the year off with a pretty organized flow so that they can get into the hang of it until they have figured out how they want to do it and the manner that's going to work best for them. Right now, you can see me kind of processing through how I want to handle U.S. American history and science, because I want to do it more than once a week, but I do imagine it's going to wind up being a family course. So it's one of those just trying to think of how I want to do it. And so finally settling on just dropping it down in the corner. But this is it. This is fourth grade for us. Now, Michael Clay Thompson is our language arts program. So it will cover grammar, writing, which this level, I believe the heavy focus is on a very good sentence. So it will handle vocabulary, writing, grammar, literature, and poetics. So it will cover all of that. It does not cover spelling, and we are not doing an independent spelling this year. So what we will do, because we had worked up through all about spelling to like Latin stems, what we will do is we're going to use our vocabulary words for handwriting and for spelling. And so that is our plan for this year, is just kind of multi-purposing what we're already doing.
Okay guys, so as you may have noticed, there are two things, science and US history, that I do want to attempt to do more than one time a week. However, with our uncertainty currently about our extracurriculars and things like that, and with at least US history being a study that we want to do together, everybody, all four of us as a family, we have those currently up in the air. So we will just have to figure out, once we get everything else scheduled and planned as far as parenting goes, what makes sense going forward. And so that is why you see that listed that way. Now, guys, I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, sorry, I kicked you. If you did, please scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. You can also find those printables linked for you down below. I am really excited about the upcoming homeschool year, and you may have realized that my flow looks different. It looks a little sparse. It's a little different than normal. And don't forget that that is by design. I am intentionally trying to simplify our homeschool life to account for the extracurriculars, to account for more specialized interest focused things in our everyday life, because we are at that point where my kids really do know what they want to pursue, and I want to make sure that we are holding space for them. So I hope that you enjoyed this look, guys. I'm really excited to hear from you. Are you a flow or are you a schedule person? I would absolutely love to know. And if you want to tell us why does that approach work for you? Because like I have said 1,000 million trillion times every time on this channel, every single homeschool is different. And so I love being able to come here and amass a lot of feedback and comments and support as far as finding the path for you that works for you in your homeschool. And I hope that you enjoyed this look inside our 4th grade flow. Bye guys.